What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got some interesting news to talk about. The 2023 MLB schedule has been released for all teams, and I wanted to start off by highlighting some of the key dates as MLB themselves put it. Opening day, of course, is March 30th. Saturday, April 15th is Jackie Robinson Day, followed by Lou Gehrig Day. Then the Cardinals and the Cubs are going to play it in London for a couple games. July 11th is the All-Star Game in Seattle. Then they're going to bring back the Little League Classic, which I think has happened almost every year recently, like the past 5-ish seasons, minus COVID, of course. Don't know who's actually in that matchup. Then September 15th, rounding out the end of the season, is Roberto Clemente Day. And finally, Game 162 on October 1st, which means there might be some November baseball, I think, or at the very least, the World Series could end like on Halloween or something. So I don't know those dates exactly, but anyway, those are some of the key ones. And this is the big news. All 30 teams will face each other for the first time ever. I have been wanting them to do this for so many years because I think it just makes complete sense, you know. You don't need to play, I think it was something like 80 division games. I understand the division is, of course, like the crux of getting to the playoffs, but you're still going to play about a third of the season against division teams, and this gives people a chance to watch teams they've never watched. You know, you want people to be fans of the game, but then you're not always playing even half of the league. So I would say usually, though, I think they do at the very least play all of the intra-league teams. You get your division, and then you get the other 10 teams, usually. But this time they're doing all of that, plus 46 inter-league games, which is about one series per team in the NL. And with that out of the way, we can get into the Rangers schedule specifically because they, of course, announced it for all 30 teams. They're starting things off at home against the Phillies, March 30th. And I was unaware of the schedule change because I had actually come up with something similar to this when I was talking to my dad about it. We always thought it was dumb that they never did that. So anyway, not quite like this, but this is basically the same thing. It's pretty cool. You get to host, or Rangers will be hosting 8 NL teams. I'll open that tweet twice. And this was Levi Weaver just pointing out some other interesting things. That there's only 8 home games in May, which is interesting. Going to be in San Diego right before the trade deadline. Also pretty interesting. You see there 28th, 29th, and 30th. Ending with an inverted version of this year's final road trip, which I didn't even know what this year's was, but I assume it's Seattle first and then LA. But that's going to be terrible. They're going to go from East Coast to West Coast, and then, East Coast to Central to West. That'll be interesting. And then the last thing he pointed out was only 2 in-division road trips, which he says I think AL East teams will benefit most. AL East is Baltimore, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees, and Tampa. So yeah, I guess the Canada trip can be quite interesting, as well as going to Florida. I like this because of the, for the Rangers, like I said, they got to go to the West Coast sometimes. So I guess they just slap those at the end of the year, which is fine. Wow, actually, yeah, is that the only time they're going to, is that the only time they're going to the West Coast? No, wait, that's not right. Sorry, I don't know what he means by that. Only 2 in-division road trips. Because there's Houston there. Houston, Seattle, Oakland. I'm not sure what he means by that, actually. I'm kind of confused. But anyway, a very interesting new schedule format. I'm a big fan of playing all the teams. Like I said before, you want people to get interested in the game. They got to be able to see a little bit of every team. And you'll get some of those funky matchups that don't happen that much, like Pittsburgh. Although I believe that was actually the first interleague game ever was Texas versus Pittsburgh in Globe Life Park. Milwaukee is always an interesting one. San Francisco has happened a little bit. But there's some ones you don't always see that often, especially hosting those teams like Atlanta, again, Arizona at home. Let's see what else. Miami at home, obviously opening the series with Philly at home. It's very interesting stuff. So it could be a very fun 2023 just from a schedule perspective. It appears as just from the eye test here that June will almost be exclusively at home. I mean, I see 9 away games in a month. So St. Louis for a 4-game set, or 3 games rather, at home. Lots of crazy stuff. So I kind of agree with Levi here. I could look at this for days. And this was the official account just highlighting some of the notable series. This makes my job easy, right? Of course, opening weekend. And then Yankees, they always seem to play them. Maybe not at home, but they always seem to play them. Atlanta comes to town May 15th. Cardinals. Dodgers, that was one I missed. Let's see, July 21st. Oh, yeah. So they go Cleveland, Tampa, Dodgers after the All-Star break. That is quite a schedule. And Houston and San Diego. Wow. July will be a tough month minus the Nationals. Because Boston still isn't terrible. I think they're above 500. Houston's going to be Houston. Whew, that's a tough month. And going into August, it gets a little easier. I mean, you get the White Sox, Miami. I'm not going to try to dissect the schedule too much. I'll save that for a different video. But very, very interesting to look at. And lastly, Red Sox at Rangers is always an interesting one. These are the divisional series that will be at home. Each team gets to host all the other division teams, I believe is what it is. So at least once, it looks like twice specifically. A's a few times, Mariners, Angels, and then Astros kind of in the middle of the season and towards the end. So September is a big month for the division, yeah. I actually like that as well. Houston, Oakland, Seattle. I like that a lot, actually. Because if you're going to have less division games, make them count. Like, have it at the end of the season. So, anyway, I got a little off topic there. I will do a video way closer to next year, like February maybe. Going through, seeing what their record could be. This year I predicted 75 wins, and they're on pace for like 73. So that'd be my best prediction so far if they get to 75. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Very cool stuff. Very excited for the 2023 season. Hopefully Texas goes out and gets some new guys, and Chris Young will lead us to the promised land. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.